Hello, and welcome back to Shooting Dice. This is part 2 of episode 1. We hope you enjoy. So now that everyone probably has their sheet together, this is how fighting works in Break. It is not like D&D where you decide initiative. Instead, we will go ahead and start with the adversaries that begin to lunge at you, as it is whoever begins the fight first that goes first. So the way that fights work is we begin by describing the current battle spaces between you. So there are currently 3 areas in this fight. You have the area that the 3 of you occupy at the beginning where the door was on one side of this station. You have an empty area in the center of the station where no one is at. And then you have the area on the opposite side where these shadow skeletons have found their place. So, because they're going first, I would like everyone to determine the order that they are going in once it gets to the next turn.
I'm fine with going last.
I can go right in the middle if you're cool with going first there, Solomon.
Yeah, I'll go first.
Right. So with the 3 skeletons, they are going to the first 2 begin to move across this center area, and they are currently in the middle area. Alright, so the 2 move forward, and they have to be in the same area to be able to do attacks. If I remember correctly, I believe that is how it works, is when you have a standard reach, you have to be in the exact same area. Yeah, you can only physically attack adversaries in a different area to you with a weapon type that has an extended range, such as a missile weapon, and that is what the first skeleton is going to do. Let's see who he's going to hit first. 4 would have been a reroll. So it is going to attack our champion, Solomon Salamander, and I believe he does not have an attack bonus, so let us see if he is managing to hit you at all. So this is just D20 straight roll with his attack. Does a 6 hit your defense score?
No, my defense is 10.
Alright, well that is his entire turn, so we will move on to the next skeleton. They both will move forward into the center area, and then they will use their action for the turn to move forward to get into your area. So they are now surrounding you. These 2 skeletons with the rapier and sword begin to charge at you. It is now your turn in whichever order you feel appropriate. So what you will have whenever you do fight is you will have an action that you can do. You can move for free depending on your speed. So average, you're able to move 1 area at a time, whereas fast and very fast can go 2 areas at a time. But you will have 1 action to be able to perform on your turn. These actions can range from combat actions, attack stunts, combat tricks, attack assists, or tactical actions. And of course, there's some other miscellaneous stuff that might be with that or not. So, for whoever is going first, please announce what you would like to do.
Okay, are there any, rocks nearby, anything like that?
Right now, it is just a flat station of stained glass.
Okay. And they're 1 space away?
They are in your area currently. So they are able to be attacked with no extra movement.
Okay, I'm just going to put my shoulder behind the shield and try to just shoulder check the hell out of one of them. As hard as I can.
Okay.
Which I do have supernatural might as well.
Okay, what does all that do then?
I have an edge on all rolls involving might, or the GM can decide what I automatically succeed in. My strength allows me to attempt feats that are not possible by weaker folk. Also, I can enter might contests, or during a fight, you can throw other PCs up to 1 battlefield area away. or
Whoa.
hurl heavy objects as thrown weapons that do 2 hearts of damage instead of 1. I don't think it
Alright.
really affects this current situation, but I just seen the opportunity to give you that information.
Well, currently, it sounds like you would like to perform an attack stunt. So we're going to go forward with that. I believe you have an ability into the fray, which with your daring fighting style, you can perform an attack stunt without making a wager. Yes, that is one thing that you can do if you would like to do that.
Okay.
Since
Yeah.
this is the first time that we're doing it, that's one of your abilities for into the fray. So attack stunts, the way that they work is we can choose a weapon or ability to strike with, and then select your target as if making a standard attack. And then, so you're wanting to shoulder check them. What is the desired outcome that you're trying to do for this? Like stun them, kind of push them back an area,
yeah.
or...
Yeah, and if I can do damage, that would be great. But the main goal is to like kind of get one of them pushed back and stun them.
Okay, well, I will say, we'll do varying degrees of success. So, I have something in mind. So the way that attack stunts work is, go ahead and roll a d20, adding your attack bonus.
12.
All right, with a 12, you manage to hit, leaning in as they're coming forward. Although you have no memories of it, your body is able to kind of like an experience that you don't remember, moves into position and just lunges forward with a shield as one of these shadowy melting skeletons run toward you, sword up, ready to swing down. You just check him and shove him back. He will not move a space away, but he will be stunned. So I believe there is an official condition for that, but I don't know where it's at on the sheet. But it's basically elements. Here we go. Blind, deaf, and balloon chibbed. You can become chibbed. Oh my god.
I've just been using Control F to navigate through the PDF.
That's a good. Yeah, I
Yeah, that
can't
might work.
believe I didn't think of that before.
Yeah, there's a whole lot of pages and everything spread out, so
Yeah.
I wanted to drop that tidbit of information for you.
Yeah. You know what? I should have been doing it, but I did not. There is no such thing as stun, so we will just say he will not attack on the next round. He will not get an attack action specifically. So who is next? As that is his turn.
All right, so with my quirk, Buster Arm, and with me being a biomech, I have an idea of how I feel like this should play out.
Okay.
So I feel like almost as a reflex, without even like having to put any kind of processing into it, I move towards the other skeleton that he didn't attack as my move action, and I raise my arm. I'm gonna go ahead and establish it as my, like, I don't know if it's one single arm or if it's both arms. It doesn't really specify. So I'm gonna
it is
raise...
up to you if you want it to be both.
Yeah, let's do both. I'm gonna raise my left arm to the one that has not been pushed back, and it says right here, your right arm has an energy cannon. It is fitted in such a way that it does not inhibit your dexterity. Your cannon functions like a mechanical missile weapon, except it does bright damage and does not require reloading. The disadvantages are you can fire the cannon once per fight without penalty, but if discharged again during the same fight, you suffer 1 heart of damage for every shot you take. If you have 0 hearts, the weapon cannot be used. It just gives out a sad bleep. So I'm gonna raise it to the one that hasn't been shoulder checked, and I'm gonna fire that bad boy.
All right. Go ahead and roll to hit then,
Alrighty.
using your regular attack bonuses.
Okay.
So what happens is, although in the heat of the moment you're able to activate this subsection function, but in as you're getting ready to fire and you're charging it, there's kind of like a split second of wait, this is something that I can do? And when you go to fire, you mistime it as Solomon is going to shield bash this one skeleton. You don't properly calculate how far he's going to go back, so it just whiffs. So that will be your turn if you don't feel like moving between areas.
I think I'll stay with the area that I'm at.
All right, it is
I am
now
absolutely
Paco's turn.
baffled.
So I have a question.
Yes.
Regarding, do we understand our abilities fully, or is this kind of like we just got them, we had to figure it out kind of deal?
I will say that you have your abilities, you know how they work.
Okay.
So like any of your class abilities, if you have them, you can use them. But whether or not, like with his Buster Arm thing, with it being how he described a heat of the moment thing, you can use them, but you can also just flavor it to be like a, whoa, I can do that.
Okay.
I mean, that just kind of fits well with my character's history and everything.
Because I want to do something, but if that's the case, then I don't know if canonically I would be able to right now.
Well, I mean, go ahead and say what you want to do, and we'll find out.
I want to use Marlowe, but
Okay.
I don't know how to bring up the conditions to summon Marlowe.
Well, I believe you describe how you summon him.
You have to speak his name calmly, and Marlowe, a servant-like spirit, emerges from the shadow to do your bidding. Summoning takes 1 action, and it requires a grit check. If you succeed, he actually gets summoned. If you fail, he will gently refuse your request and promptly vanish. After a failed summoning, Marlowe cannot be called again for 24 hours.
Okay, what are you checking against? Does it say?
It just takes an action, it seems like. So he would be able to summon it but not use it.
Right, but I'm wanting to know what the check that you're trying to get for it is.
Grit?
Yeah. Like, what are you trying to get lower than? Because the way that checks work is you need to get lower than the number. So...
It just says requires a grit check.
Oh, that's what it is. Okay, so you're trying to roll below your grit stat.
Roll below your grit stat. Okay.
Yes.
So wait, then what does that mean for my attack where I rolled very low?
Because it was an attack roll, you're trying to roll higher than the opponent's defense rating.
Okay. Gotcha.
So checks
it's all
are
making sense now.
Right, so an aptitude for your check is selected. The aptitude you used is described in the ability or rule that you're using. And, we're choosing the one. And then I declare if you have any bonuses or penalties for it, then you apply for all of that. And what it is if the result of your roll is equal or lower than the selected aptitude score, you succeed. So the scores that you get for your class determine what your checks are that you're trying to roll below.
Okay.
That's how it works. It's just all the way at the end of the book to understand how that works. So now we know.
Okay, so for this, Paco looks at his now new comrades in this fight doing what they can. He musters up the courage to try to do something. He looks at his staff, doesn't really have a lot of faith that he can make the most of it, but he hears words echoing around his mind. Just Marlowe. So he utters them very gently.
Make your grit check. All right, is that above or below? I don't know what your grit score is.
Wait, no, that's above by 1. That's what I meant to say.
All right, well, what happens is you call out and you hear the clattering of skeletal bones almost, and to the side of you, you see almost like a Lego man that puts himself together is this skeleton in a very fancy like butler outfit. And he just looks around at the situation and looks at Paco and he says, "Ah, my lord Paco, I apologize. I will not be able to help at this moment. Good luck." And he will break apart and disappear again.
Wait, who? Marlowe?
I believe that is how it works, yes?
there's no chance you could stay?
He has gone. So, failing your grit check, that is what happens for you, yes. Marlowe gently refuses your request and promptly vanishes. So, after a failed summon, Marlowe can't be called again for 24 hours.
I didn't like him anyways.
No, don't say that. He might help us later.
But be nice to the guy, huh?
Yeah.
That's
I
unfortunate.
like how y'all are berating me mid-battle while they're trying to fight.
We're just
You're
like-
what an ass.
We're just like, Jesus, Paco. Good Lord, take it easy on him.
even the skeletons that are melting are just like, they stand there and they just kind of be like, they hold out their hands like, come on, man.
I'm sorry.
Like, he's doing his best.
Look, it's the end of my turn. Where do y'all go?
One of the skeletons just shrugs and is like, okay. And it is now his turn. So one of them is currently stunned, but the other one with the sword is going to swing out, and we're going to see who they hit. So starting from the top, going down, rolling a d3, 2, that is going to be the one that summoned a skeleton, and it's going to be against
One who
Paco
got
that he goes.
rejected.
So let's see if he can hit. Does a 15 hit your defense?
I don't think you have to ask.
So this skeleton, the way that it happens is he just runs up and starts to take a swipe at you, but last second you're able to kind of dodge out of the way, not taking any injuries from the hit, but you lose 1 heart. As
I'm at 1
hearts,
heart.
yep,
Oh,
hearts
God.
represent your stamina as well as your ability to fight and your moral, I guess, courage to stay in the fight, you know? So they don't necessarily incur damage, as that is what injuries do in this format. So it is the missile. The guy in the back is going to go ahead and fire, and he's going to take a shot again at Paco. They really took a disliking to you for the skeleton.
They're just like,
You
what an
take-
asshole.
They really did not like how I treated Marlowe.
So they come in, you know, the first melting skeleton takes a swing, and you're able to kind of dodge out of the way, but with your cat-like reflexes, you're able to hear the whistling of a oiled arrow kind of make your way to you, and just last second it kind of clips your shoulder as you're trying to dodge out of the way, like Spider-Man in the first movie with the Green Goblin, just and you take another heart of damage. But that is the opponent's turn. It is now back to you guys. Determine the order you would like to go in, and then go in that order.
Are they gonna beat me up too?
I guess since I went first last time, I'll go first this time, if that's okay.
Yep. The really good thing about break is you just determine the order at any time. So if
Okay.
someone wants to go first, because it is like very teamworky. So if someone has an ability that might help out, that person can go first, and then everyone can get like benefits.
Can I go
from it.
first then, since like they're all right next to me,
Yeah.
trying to beat me up? I want to retaliate a little.
All right. How do you do so?
I'm just gonna take the staff that I have and just swing it right at one of their heads.
All right. So because you have an arc weapon, I believe how they work.
Also, technical question. I think Heretic only uses swords and lashes.
So
Well,
it's just
we
like-
don't know the rules at the moment, so, you know, the staff is an arc weapon because it's a staff, so you have one.
Can I pretend it's a lash?
Listen, I just have a shield.
That's a joke. No. But
Let me see where it is at.
it does say missile weapons, right? And it just has highlighted thrown. Could I try throwing it? Because that would...
I think it has to constitute as ammunition.
Okay.
Well, no, if you want to throw it, you can.
Absolutely,
It will be...
I'm gonna throw it then.
Its range is up to 1 battlefield away, so
Nice.
you currently have the ones that are around you.
Paco is going to attack the last one who just attacked Paco, of course, by throwing his mage staff at the head of his opponent.
Okay, so are you going for the one with the sword, the rapier, or the bow and arrow?
We'll go with rapier.
Rapier guy? Okay, you're just gonna chuck it at him, so roll for your staff. Alright, 13, you managed to hit the first one dealing damage specifically that managed to hit. So you throw your staff at him, and what happens is you just kind of hike it up like a javelin and you chuck it out, going for the head of this skeleton. And when you do, the staff kind of, like a rock hitting oil, just stumps into this thing's face, and it just falls to the ground, and the skeleton melts along with it. That skeleton is out of the fight.
Quick question. What is chain attack? I looked it up. It doesn't specifically say, but at rank 1 with my combat momentum ability, it says you have 1 chain attack per round. So
right,
does that
and then
mean
below that, it says at rank 1 you have 1 chain attack per round, which has a minor bonus on the attack roll and does an extra heart of damage if you land a successful strike.
But is that like an attack after? Is that like 2 attacks? Because the chain attack, it being chained, kind of makes me think
but that's against another foe. If you land a finishing blow against an opponent in melee, you gain a chain attack against another foe in the same area.
Oh, okay. That makes sense.
So you can basically, if you kill one enemy, you can attack another one.
Okay. Are you wanting to go, Andy?
I'm reading an image. Hang on.
Okay, I guess I'll go in that case.
Go ahead.
So the one that I shoulder checked with my shield, which I'm gonna say is in my left hand. I'm keeping the shield in my left. I'm just gonna swing my fist with my right hand.
The way that works, because there are unarmed attacks, unarmed strikes suffer a snag on their attack roll when directed at armored or unarmored enemies, and then they just don't do any extra damage. So this is basically, they're not armored, but they are armed. So this is our first instance of a snag. So in this game, the way that they handle advantage and disadvantage, they instead are snags and edges.
Okay.
So you will roll this with a snag, which is you roll twice and you take the lowest, but you will still add your attack bonus since you are attacking unarmed.
Okay. And I was wrong before about my attack bonus, the last attack. I was looking over the book, and it's actually 2, so
Okay.
that would be a 10.
Yep. So 10 hits, you're able to strike out a punch hitting this one, like oiled, shadowy skeleton, like just square in the chest. And when you do, he just freaking Lego Man style just flies away. All of his bits and pieces being destroyed and spun around everywhere as it melts away.
Okay. And so then I get my chain attack as well after that, right?
Yes, but they have to be in the same area as you. And the
okay.
bow and arrow skeleton is currently 2 areas away on
Okay.
the other side of the station.
I mean, I'm still in the middle area from where I moved in to attack.
So you have not gone yet. You still have...
No, I guess theoretically, I could go in and try the cannon again, but I will be down to 0 hearts. Or no, I'll be down to 1 heart because I have 2 hearts. So I want to do that.
Go ahead, take the heart of damage, and then roll to hit.
All right. So I rolled D20, and then do I have any modifiers? Is this just a hit?
You add your attack bonus.
Okay. I believe my attack bonus is 0. I got a 9.
9. There's no way that you don't have an attack bonus. Hang on. You should have an attack bonus. Oh, well, never mind. You do only have a +0 attack bonus. Shit. Well,
So
I
miss.
Yeah, just again, you're not used to using the Buster Arm, and whenever you go to aim, the skeleton is able to kind of like dodge to the side as whenever you feel the energy kind of drain from you a lot more than the first attack, as you can feel kind of your circuits kind of lose power as they're not able to keep up with the output. So the skeleton is able to dodge to the side, and If you would like to move or anything else like that, you may. Otherwise, it will go over to that skeleton's turn.
I suppose since I can take a move action again next turn, I would like to move away from the skeleton.
All right. So you move into the same area that everyone else is in, and the skeleton is just going to, on his turn, kind of take a look at what has happened to his two comrades, take a look at you guys, look at its bow, do the math, and melt. He will just leave.
Oh, what a...
All right.
Come on. We were having a good fight there.
This outcome seems preferable.
Yeah, I guess.
All right. So everyone's hearts return back to their maximum, as they only count per fight. And I would like to point this out, inside of break, it does say, instead of like rolling initiative, you just say fight start, and then when it's over, fight end. Like you're telling Siri to do it.
Okay.
All right. So after the fight, is there anything you guys would like to do?
So there's like nothing left of these guys.
Nope. They pretty much just melted into the floor and disappeared.
Okay. I'm just gonna walk around, look at all the glass on the floor, see if there's anything we could depict from it.
Yep. So as you're looking around and you're kind of investigating the stained glass, again, what you're able to make out from it is that it is this world map that is kind of overshadowed by this a dead star, basically, as it is just white. It kind of has little patches of like gray in it, kind of like craters, but it is white and unmoving. But as far as you are aware, in this black void, there's not much else.
I'm gonna say to Handy, I'm just gonna be like, what was that, bud? It looked like you were trying to do something there a couple of times, and it just didn't really pan out. What was going on?
Seems I've responded purely off of instinct from, I would assume, an ability that I possess without my knowledge. I will have to do further investigation to give you an accurate answer.
All right, yeah, you just keep working at that. Paco, how you holding up, bud?
Still a little upset about the whole Marlowe situation, but I'm pretty okay.
Listen, I mean, are you upset at Marlowe?
Yeah.
It seemed that way. Yeah, you gave him a pretty good talking to there. Maybe take it easier on the guy.
Easier?
But, in all, yeah.
I'm offended.
Why?
Why should I be easier on someone who I begged for help and they didn't even help? They said, "Oh, I'm busy. I'm sorry. I'm about to die."
Well, I mean, maybe you had some stuff to do. You don't know.
What is more important than helping me out?
I don't know. I mean, that's what I'm doing, I suppose. So
and you're doing a great job. Keep it up.
Thank you, Paco. That was nice. You hear that, Handy? He said something nice.
I'm detecting hints of sarcasm coming from Paco.
See?
What?
This is the gray area.
I don't quite understand.
I don't either, man. But I'll take it as a compliment, Paco. Thank you. However you meant it. But I'm going to search the area, see if I can find anything.
I will compile more of this data for gray area.
So now we enter into another portion of the focused rules that are available in Break. We had combat, so now we are moving on into the exploration rules. Let me pull down over into what it takes to go in and explore an area. Step 1, decide where to enter the site. You're already in it. So now we need you to set up your exploration team. You have a total of 4 positions to decide of what you're doing. You have your rear guard, you have your observer, your vanguard, and your scout.
I believe Handy would do best as an observer. Kind of
so you have your observer.
Strong suits.
What about Paco and Solomon?
Yeah, don't all chime in at once, fellas.
Rear guard for good old Paco.
Yeah, I guess I would take up the scout.
All right, so here are the rules for your position. The observer, if you are attacked from the front but have a vanguard in position, you cannot be targeted by the enemy for 1 turn if you only perform a tactical action. A rear guard protects you in a similar fashion from behind. The rear guard, you defend the rear and making sure you're not being stalked, so if a trap or blast is set off behind you, you can choose to shield the PCs in front of you from its effects, but forfeit any checks to avoid the effects yourself. If a PC in front of you are attacked, you cannot be targeted by the enemy for 1 turn if you only prefer a tactical action. I didn't say this earlier, but observers study the surroundings looking for small details easily missed by others, and then a scout moves ahead of the pack and provides advance notice of any potential threats. You arrive at a location first and can use a different movement type to the rest of the other PCs. If you get in trouble, it will take 1 turn before you or the other PCs can get there to assist. So, right now, in the current location, you have these current actions that you can do. You can inspect, you can linger, or you can move.
Inspect, I guess, because where are we gonna move?
I mean, you're not wrong.
Fair.
So right now,
Guess I done my job as a scout, huh?
Yeah, I'm about to inspect the shit out of this area.
And I'm gonna be chilling in the back.
Okay. That's interesting. So it comes up and says that in this case, inspecting prompts me to roll for a wandering encounter. I don't have a sight encounter available because they don't give one, which is unfortunate. But of course, this would probably be something I would have to do. You will simply roll a d20 and determine what happens. So, with inspecting the environment, you guys are able to figure out everything. You guys don't really have much to actually inspect because you're currently just standing on just a large station of stained glass. And as you walk around, you just take a look, you try to look out. But as you get to the edge of the dais, you hear a kind of like a kind of sound as you're getting close to the edge, and you see that there is like kind of like this semi-invisible like shining step that kind of appears on the edge, where it kind of is just like a large rectangle that is kind of off to the side of the station that is like I said, kind of glowing with a little bit of light, but it's kind of see-through.
Oh, there
almost.
we go, boys. We got a step.
It seems I've found a way to escape this area if you guys would like to go in this direction.
It's time for Paco to take the lead. Paco gets out of rear view and just goes ahead of everyone.
And I heard like a noise. Did one of you boys happen to toot? I heard something. I don't know if you can, Handy.
I am not.
So, Paco?
Well, that noise wasn't really the biggest of my concerns right now, so I could care less.
Well, I'm just asking, because, that'd be funny if, it's a serious situation and then one of your boys just let it rip,
Look, all I'm saying is that stairs are here, we take the stairs.
Oh, yeah.
We have no other choice. Who cares about the sound?
Okay, I mean, yeah.
I don't
We'll go down
detect
the stairs.
sarcasm, so...
That's good. All right, on down we go.
All right, so is Paco now moving ahead to the scout position, or?
Paco is in the scout position, baby.
All right, so the next one that you are going to take is the move action. You can move forward into the unknown or quickly retrace your steps. So, I now must ask, how will you be moving forward? Will it be cautious movement, hasty movement, or stealthy movement?
Paco would like to do hasty. He's just getting to the next place.
All right, so
I'm
with
just
the way
gonna
of
keep pace with our scout, yeah.
Yep. So the way that it works is the scout moves ahead of the pack and will arrive at the location first. So you will go ahead and step on the stairs, Paco, and when you do jump onto the stairs, you hear that same boom kind of happen multiple times as before you. a ton of these platforms just kind of reach out and start going off into the darkness. And although you don't see the direction that it is taking, you can very easily jump from one platform to the other. They're not really connected to each other, but there is space between them. So as you begin to move down, it takes a little bit of time as by the time Handy and Solomon realize that you're just kind of booking it, they have to start trying to keep pace with you. You manage to keep going forward, and what you see before you is in the distance, you're able to see another one of these stations, but you don't see like the top of it. You see the sides where these huge like stained glass cathedral windows just kind of come out from the darkness and hold up this station. And as you're moving along in the station, the same shadows that had appeared before you begin to crawl out from the light, being emitted faintly by these stairs, and these shadows appear one space in front of you, and it is two more of these oily skeletal men. However, this time their appearance is not that of a skeleton. It is more they have more like full-bodiedness to them, so they're not skeletons, they're actually people, but they're still made out of like this oily substance where they kind of melt and creak along, and they're each holding, standard weapons, but they have on a kind of like a robe almost. But anytime you try to discern features, it's like this oily appearance kind of like masks them, so that way you can't really tell what they are. So we begin fighting again. Paco, what do you do in this situation as they are currently just in front of you? They're kind of just blocking your way, not really making any attempts at you. However, since you are the scout and are at this location first, this first turn, it will just be you, as you have to wait for your party to catch up, as is the danger of sending a scout ahead.
So, Paco's personality, now let me know if Paco is allowed to do this, immediately turn around and start walking towards his comrades.
Yep, you're able to do that. The kind of oily figures that have appeared on the stairway don't really take notice of you, almost as if they're waiting, kind of like guarding the path in front of you. So you turn around and turn tail back to the group.
Paco's definitely gonna go back, just be like, oh, there's I don't want to be scout anymore. One of you guys can take care of that.
Why not?
So it's, I've been working so hard leading the pack, and we've been going at such a fast pace, and I was like, I'm getting kind of tired. Maybe I should head in the rear guard for a second.
You're pretty eager, but
I'm always eager.
Scout.
I'm gonna go ahead and take notice of the oily figures and summon my grimoire to start recording data.
All right. What does your grimoire look like since you gain access to one as a sage?
I get to choose what it looks like.
Yes.
I think. Can we have it look something like a Pokédex rather than just like a big ass book?
Yes, you literally just pull out the original Kanto Pokédex to flip it open like a flip phone.
It's not just a grimoire. It is specifically a giant grimoire. So I have a giant floating Pokédex that just comes to me at will. It manifests when I need it, and it disappears as if it was never there when I don't.
Perfect.
So the way that the record keeping works is as long as I can maintain consistent line of sight with something, it will magically sketch that into the book and start recording data based on my interactions with it. I believe is how that second part works.
Literally,
It's literally a book.
So I just straight up got a Pokédex.
All right. Please read me the ability full.
I can do that. I just pulled up the PDF.
Nice.
Can me and Solomon have a second to just role play about what we just saw?
Sure, go ahead. You're free to at any
You
time.
just saw. I didn't see it.
Oh, I guess
Well, I
I
mean,
wouldn't know what a Pokedex is.
I mean, we're calling it a
soft
Pokédex
from
because it's
Candy?
very evocative in its imagery, but it's
Uh-huh.
not actually a Pokédex.
That is the weirdest book I've ever seen.
Yeah, it's a pretty weird book he's got there. I don't know. That guy's shrouded in mystery. He's something else, I tell you.
Yeah, and look, I'm gonna be real with you, okay? I
Okay. Yeah.
work at a guild, right? I'm a guild agent, all right? I
Okay.
work in the marketplace. I'm good at selling things. Kind of my shtick, if you get my drift.
Okay.
I've seen a lot of these things. Never seen one like that. Makes me a bit scared. Glad to have him on our side. I've been in the biz. I know what it's like to have someone on the opposite side.
I
pleasant.
can't say I do, but talking to this guy, he's just, I have no idea what he's saying half the time. Makes no sense to me.
I'm sure.
But-
Look, I'm sure he feels the same way about you, bud.
Yeah, he may, but we have our own special way of talking. But yeah, that book is. I've just stopped questioning that guy. He's just. I could see him do the weirdest thing and just be like, okay, yep, that's Andy.
Is this more of the sarcasm and gray area?
And not for
There's-
me, bud. Not
There's
for me.
always going to be a little bit of both. We could talk about the gray area more, but for now, why don't you take care of these little guys up here?
All right, I can go ahead and read the grimoire ability if you guys want that.
Yes, please.
Okay, so it's called Grand Grimoire. Knowledge is your passion. Your grimoire is a strange tome that's always at hand, is filled to the brim with notes of your discoveries and experience. Your Grand Grimoire is a large, personalized book that is always in your hands when needed, but nowhere to be found when you have no use for it. Only you can write in the grimoire, but it is quite capable of filling its own pages. It can magically sketch pictures of things you stare at for a few minutes and record messages you speak into its pages. If you fail an insight check when attempting to recall a piece of information, you may consult your grimoire for clues. Stuffed full of factual tidbits, the tome will allow the GM to reveal a hint to where the elusive piece of information can be found. If you die, your grimoire manifests permanently. The tomes of great sages are extremely valuable. That's it.
Interesting.
So it's possible that we could find more on our journey as informational pieces.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I just got this giant fucking book that magically fills itself and can apparently record audio.
Damn, it's like a laptop, but better.
Oh, it is quite literally a Pokédex. I'm gonna call it the Twilight Dex.
Twilight Dex. So when you after a couple of minutes of staring at these oily sketches, you can take a look at the entry that your grimoire has made for them. But it, unlike most things, how you think it should work, where, it should do a really good sketch, this one, it kind of gives like an oily smattering. Like there's an outline for them, but there's no real detail. It just kind of gives the image of like dripping oil. Kind of like a GIF, since it's digital, of just like a humanoid thing that is dripping. And
what would these be called in the grimoire?
Quinkin. But currently no other information would be given. You know what, since it's like a Pokédex, the message that it would have for it as like a description, these it would probably be something along the lines of Quinkin are abilities that seem to materialize out of readily made shadows. Their origins and form are or their origins are as mysterious as their proper form, as they don't typically keep it for long periods of time.
All right, I'm gonna need you to type that out and send it to me.
Shit. I'll do that later.
Isn't your grimoire supposed to record audio?
Twilight
I'll
Dex,
sit.
clip that.
We'll say that it's said out loud for everyone in the nearby vicinity to hear once it's finished.
And what region would you say these are from?
That's not given information. I just said its origins are as mysterious as its morphing form. There we go.
What route could I find these on, perhaps?
You can find them right next to these nuts.
All right, so since my hearts have been reset, and as far as I'm concerned, there's not a cooldown at all or a reloading stage for my cannon. I'm gonna go right up to one of them and blast them.
All right, you're just gonna go ahead and blast them. Fair enough. All right.
Could have tried to talk to the fellas, but okay.
And look, that's what he wants to do. He goes up. Are you going to go into the same area as them, or are you going to give some distance?
Well, hang on. To be fair, with our previous encounter, and based on what the Twilight Dex has given us as far as information goes, I don't see any reason to not blast them. But if you have any kind of conflicting information that might give me any indication to do something else, we can discuss that.
Oh, I'm just saying, I mean, like, just because those gaggle of goons that we fought before were, gung-ho on killing us, doesn't mean these guys are, Give them the benefit of the doubt.
If you would like to go forward and attempt to interact with them, I would be more than happy to let you do that. And I will record the data from the distance.
I can talk to the fellas.
Personally, my 2 cents, fuck them.
Yeah. Well, maybe. But I'm gonna see how they're doing. See if I can strike up a conversation with them. So I start walking that way, and I'm just like, "Hi, fellas, how you doing? We just we need to go down these stairs here."
So they will speak out to you, but they don't really move. If anyone speaks the language Dark Tongue, you will understand what they say.
Oh, I actually, I do. I got to pick, like, an extra language. And that's the one I chose, just happenstance.
All right.
I couldn't write it, because the PDF was weird, but... Yeah, so I know, like, low speak and Dark Tongue.
They will say, sometimes along the way, a hero need not fight, but speak to their enemy.
Oh, I knew it. How you guys doing? I knew you guys were some good guys.
And then this is the next part of unique rules that are available. They have something specific for negotiations. Negotiation procedure. We begin. Determine the primary negotiators. That is going to be between the main team, you guys, and the 2 Quinken that have stood before you. So, now you have to figure out what your objective is for this case. They have currently just said, in order to journey along your path, sometimes heroes need not fight their enemies. So at this point, it is now the objective of getting past them. So now you choose your tactic, which in this case, we have... here are some tactics that are available to you. You have physical intimidation, reasoned debate, charismatic appeal, honeyed words and deceit, guilt trip or tenacious belligerence, or random blathering. There are also influencing factors that you can determine, but at this moment, there are none. And then it'll be entering the negotiation contest, and then accept defeat or push your point.
Well, I guess, I don't know. How do you think we should go about this, boys?
You know my 2 cents.
I mean, I imagine. So I assume you told us what they said.
Yeah.
No. I believe if they're willing to give up the route without any conflict, then maybe we should ask what it is that they would like for us to do in order to obtain that route.
Yeah, it's a good way to go about it, I suppose. Paco, any suggestions here?
I think we should, force our way through. We
Okay.
could have already been done by now, but here we
Okay.
are.
So, I guess I'll go talk to them and see what they might want from us to get through. So I'm going to turn around to them and I'm just going to be like, okay, boys. We want to get past you guys, okay? What do you need for that to happen?
One of them they will both hold out their hands, just palm up.
I mean, I suppose I could hold your hands if you want me to, but do you know what this means, Handy? Do they want me to hold their hands, or like what's going on here?
I have no practical knowledge on this scenario, but it seems as though they are requesting something of physical, something of a physical nature.
Okay. Could you guys clarify? Do you want like? Because I mean, we don't have much here. Okay, so like, are you wanting gold or money, or because we have none of that?
They will say in unison, toll for the ferryman.
Well,
I wonder if we were brought into this place with any other possessions. Maybe we should search our persons and see if we have been granted the proper amount for the ferry.
yeah, that's a good idea there. I haven't taken the time to really, rummage through the old pockets.
All right. Whenever you do, you find all of the stuff that you would normally get with your starting gear, which I believe you roll a d20 to find out your starting gold specifically. But anything else you get from your class and your homeland and stuff, you have that available.
So I'm gonna tell them. I'm just gonna be like, oh, well, boy, it seems here I've got 10 of these guys on me. I can give you each 5. Will that do? And I just place 5 in each of their hands.
So whenever you go to place the first coin in one of their hands, on the rest of them kind of just drop to the ground as only one is able to stay in their hand, and just these long, kind of like clawed fingers just slowly make a fist grabbing on with this coin, and his hand just lowers, and he dissolves back into the ground.
Guess I can pick up the rest of these guys, huh? That was a bargain. I love a good deal. So let's move on through, guys. Come on. I knew those fellas weren't all bad guys. You see, you just gotta talk to a guy every now and again.
I will make note of this and put it in the grimoire.
Yep. Sometimes, whenever you come up against GMCs, so like potential enemies, or encounters, they have a mood table that I can roll on to determine how they feel about you being in their area.
That's actually really cool.
Yeah, that is. I like that.
So not all enemies are actually enemies, at least in the moment that you meet them.
That's very Call of Cthulhu, honestly.
Yeah, I like it. So, Paco, are you wanting to get back at the head of this group here, or?
No, thank you.
Okay, so I guess that means I will, unless you do, Andy. But you seem to be the see what you can see type of guy.
I will follow and continue to observe as we progress forward.
Okay, sounds good. Let's go, guys.
All right, what's the order that you're going in?
I guess I'm scout.
I'm observer.
Rear guard, baby.
All right. Well, we will continue forward, and as you move on into the next area, you finally make it to this final station. However, when you make it to this station, climbing up the stairs leading all the way to the top, the stairs below you begin to change from this kind of weird translucent, like opalescent color into cracks inside of it, much like the stained glass that you've been walking along this whole time. And each time you step on one, more and more of this stained glass is revealed. And you see in these steps, you have the reflections that you saw whenever you picked up your weapons. And eventually you make your way up to this top station, and all that is shown in the stained glass is a gigantic pyramid just stood in the center of this massive desert.
Oh, I've seen this before.
Oh, you've seen it?
Yeah, whenever I was getting my weapon, this is what I saw.
Okay, so y'all saw stuff too, huh? Did you see anything, Andy?
I don't believe I saw the pyramid, right, Hunter?
No. The only person that saw the pyramid was Paco. Everyone else saw something different.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I did see things, but I have no recollection of this in my database.
Okay. Well, I saw a kind of, you could say, a fishing town that was getting absorbed by something out in the distance. Looked like it, just a purple, black, void that just kept on taking. That's what I saw. But you saw the pyramid.
Yeah, I did.
So this has got to it's got to mean something, huh? I suppose.
Well, in the flashback or whatever it was, they were going towards the pyramid.
Who's they? Do you know?
No, it was 3 hooded figures. I couldn't really make out any features of them.
Okay. Well, I guess we'll try to pick up on this whole pyramid thing. It's got to mean something. So let's keep on digging in on this and see where this goes, huh?
I agree. Let us move forward.
Yeah.
All right.
Let's
Well, as you move toward the center, the light from the center kind of shining on you. Much like with the Quinkin before, your shadows extend out, kind of beginning to cover the rest of this area. And you hear off in the distance the sound of, you're able to hear something off in the distance. Something is making noise. And you hear a crashing, not like the shattering glass, but like something falling over. And you can see in the distance, now with your height advantage, you kind of see the light from the previous stations that you were at, seeing them off in the distance, kind of scattered. They begin to topple as something is pushing them over and shattering them.
Looks like something's coming this way. I don't
have a good feeling about this.
Yeah, I don't know what it could be, but everywhere we've been is they're going, and they're going quick. We need to find a way to keep on moving as fast as we can. That's what I would say we need to do.
All right.
I advise taking a defensive position, as there is nowhere to escape.
Well, yeah, fair. Okay. Solomon just puts his shield up and nestles it on his leg in the direction that this noise is kind of coming from, and just digs his back foot into the whatever he can, I guess. Just a firm planted stance with his shield up.
So as you guys are stancing up, getting ready for a fight, you hear kind of all around you, as if this void is shaking. You hear crashing and the rush of footsteps, as it sounds like something is entering into a room, and you hear a voice call out, and it is raspy, and I'm not really sure how to describe it other than just trying to emulate it, I suppose. But you will hear a voice kind of call out in the distance, echoing through this void as if it came from everywhere but nowhere at once. Just find them. That divine will not be allowed to interfere with our plans anymore. And as you say it, the shadows that were before you, more Quinkin, begin to start to appear.
It's time to
But
get
this
rowdy,
time,
boys.
when they do, it is ones of, they have more definition to them. They are definitely, like, people in a sense. Like, you're able to see more, less of their body is covered in this oily substance, but they have, like, they're wearing, like, robes and tunics to them, but you're still like not able to see their face and their defining features to be able to pick them out in a crowd.
Okay, boy, I don't think we're going to be able to talk our way out of this one, fellas. Seems like they're already geared up. Which, to be fair, so am I, but...
I'm bricked up.
Do I? Okay.
Out of character. Out of character.
Do I have my weapon? Because I threw it, and then that was it.
We will assume that you picked it up. I don't think you would leave it behind.
I feel like my character would 100%.
Okay, well, if you left it behind, then I guess you did. My bad
How about
for
you-
assuming your
JJ,
character.
Jay, from the way it sounds, that's a very like important thing that's going to stick around for a while throughout this whole adventure we're going on, and you just tossed it.
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
Why don't I roll a d20, and if I get over a 10, you grabbed it. If I get under 1, you left it.
I mean, I get
No. If he
I'm
says
fine
grabbed
with
it,
If he
you
leaving
wants
it.
to,
I'm fine with leaving it.
it's just as we're preparing for this battle, Solomon sees Paco like realize that he never picked it up, and like Solomon is also like, did you not pick up your thingy, your staff?
Well, I thought I would like it more than like a sword, but then I started like, I don't know, I didn't feel right
good
to
God.
use.
So
I just kind of left it.
So we're in this thing that we can't explain here, and these pillars came up that said choose one, and when you did, you seen this pyramid that we are currently kind of seeing before these guys showed up, and you just threw that thing that oh, okay, bud. Okay. Yeah.
Well,
Not the sharpest.
Short answer, yes. Long answer, fuck you.
That's fair. That's fair. That's fair, bud. But I'm not mad at you. I'm just I'm a tad disappointed right now. But you know,
We're in the middle of a fight. Can we go?
It seems like this is going to be a fight, just with my morals and just every.
They're literally coming towards us.
All right, Twilight Dex is out to record any new information.
I will
guess I'm
say
gonna
with this
take
all going on, what happens is in the decks, it's not able to record any new information. What comes up is a sketching of them, but the only thing that's shown is like the robe, and it's just like unknown origin.
All right, gonna keep it out in case we figure anything useful out. Just let it kind of float there.
That means I have my sword,
Yes.
because you said
That's
earlier.
Yes, that's why I was like, why is he not using the sword? So I guess I had
I didn't know if we had
everyone
gotten it yet or not.
Yeah. Once you got your class and your homeland and everything, you have everything. So you have your forgotten sword.
All right, so how many of these liquid skeletons we got on us right now?
All right. Currently, there are 10. But when they appeared, they showed up coming from a door. So a door has appeared on the opposite side of where you're standing, and they have started to flood in, along with these other ones that are coming out from the shadows. They're currently 3 areas away from you.
He's just going to sprint towards the door as fast as he can with his shield up.
All right.
Oh, before
So-
you do that, I have spell push, which can push. It can affect things up to 15 feet away. The push exerts the same amount of force as an adult human. The push is always executed with full power and cannot be used with any delicacy. If the push is used in a check or contest, the spell's might is the same as your insight. This might include attempting to shove against a monster or moving a heavy stone. The push is used as an attack. It is treated as an unarmed strike, and it can strike at a target up to 1 battlefield area away. So I could move in closer and try to push them away from the door. How we
If
feel
that
about
is what
that?
you would like to do.
Yeah, that works.
All right. So you said that it was going to be a contest, right?
Yeah, and the might will be replaced with my current insight, which is 11.
All right. That's what you're trying to roll below. So let's see
Okay.
if you can roll higher than me, but below an 11.
All right. Well, I got a 3.
I got a 3 as well.
Oh,
So how does that
So
work?
I believe when this happens, hold on, let me see if I can find contest. There are rules for when you match in a contest. Okay, contest procedure. Winning. Special success that is not here. Neither of you had an edge. So the largest bonus, neither of us had a bonus. Neither of us had a penalty. Highest natural roll, so it's a stalemate.
Technically, I have a +1 bonus to insight.
Is that a +1 bonus or a +1 to your score?
It's a +1 to the score.
Yes. So that means your insight would be 12 if it was a base 11 from the class.
No, it's a base 10 from the class. +1 would make it 11.
Yes. Right. So that just makes the score an 11. Bonuses are given outside of that, depending on
So
if
this
you
is
got like...
just-
Yep, just straight at the moment. So
Okay.
it is a stalemate because we both rolled a 3 and there were no edges and no penalties.
Well, fellas, I tried.
So you, using your newfound magic given to you by the staff, you concentrate trying to magically shove them out of the way. And while you were able to shove, I'll say you were able to shove like 1 or 2 of them out of the way, there still stands like some in front of the door, kind of blocking your way out. So is there anything else you would like to do for your turn since you have gone first?
So does that count as my action?
That is your action, so you still have your movement based on your speed.
I guess I'm going to move to the space in front of the door, but not into the space.
All right, so you are currently...
Just to try and get close up in case.
Yep, so there are currently 4 areas available. The one that you started in, there are 2 empty ones in front of you, and then the space with all the enemies at the very end with the door. So with your movement, you can move 1 space up. So you're still 2 spaces away.
All right.
All right, who will be going next?
I guess I will. I'm just full steam barreling towards the door with my shield up, and while I'm running, I'm just gonna kind of look to them and be like, just follow me through the door, boys.
All right, so you're going to use your action and your movement to go 2 spaces.
Yeah.
All right, so you will be just 1 space away from it.
Yeah.
Paco, it is now your turn. What would you like to do?
Paco's not about fighting. Paco's about having others fight for him, so he's going to run towards the door.
All right. Are you using your action to also move, so 2 spaces?
Yes, sir.
All right, you move 2 spaces ahead. It would now be the enemy's turn, but as they begin getting ready, moving in for your charge, so that way they can break you down, the sound, the cacophony of sound coming from the falling pillars off in the distance gets closer and closer, and as you're getting ready to as Solomon is getting ready to just carve a path for everyone to get to the door, you hear like wind rushing past you, and you watch as this gigantic, like oily hand crash down on top of this final area where the door is, smashing through the pillar, causing it to break nearly in half as this hand just shatters the pillar that you're on. And it completely breaks away that final area, along with all of the enemies in the door. And as you look from where the hand is, you turn to the side and you see this enormous, oily monster with like a puddle of like black mucus like covering its face and its whole top body, while this white robe that has been stained with splotches of tar is like standing over this arena. And you just hear a voice that says, "Found you."
Well, boys, seems like we're, don't mean to be a Debbie Downer, but seems like we're kind of fucked here.
Fucking hate you. The team here at Shooting Dice consists of Hunter Childers as our game master, Colby Gilbert, who plays Solomon Sanders, Trent Hall, who plays Handy the Robot, and myself, JJ Bruno, who plays Paco Itel. We would also like to give thanks to our amazing friend Haley for voicing the final divine of Outer World. This could not have been done without the new TTRPG system, Break. Everybody at Shooting Dice urges you to go check it out. And if you would like to follow us on Twitter, or X, I'm not really sure what it's called anymore, you can find us at shooting_dice. We are also on Threads under shooting_dice_podcast. Us here at Shooting Dice, thank you for giving this episode a listen, and please don't forget to save before continuing.
Solomon?
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 Is he dead?
Did he die?
Can I
Snake.
investigate Solomon?
Snake. Snake.
Damn, he got hit like I did.
No, I took the longest piss of my entire life. I started that before, even Trent decided what he was doing, and it just did. I heard you the whole time, and I was like, "Fucking go!"
You could just say,
going.
"Hey, pee break real quick."
But
Yeah, we can edit that out.